But I have to tell you, it's worse than that. It's worse than that because the Department of Labor looked at 50 or so of these poultry plants around the country. And out of that 50, all of them, every single one of them, had problems with actually stealing hours from their employees. In other words, not paying them for the hours that they were in fact working. And we heard that over and over and over earlier today in Canton, Mississippi. Listen, some of this stuff is not rocket science. You know, people who are going to work every day, is that, by the way, not what we believe in America? That people ought to work, they ought to be responsible, they ought to take care of their families, they ought to love their family and their Lord, right? That's what we believe in. But if that's true, are they not entitled to some dignity and respect? Are they not entitled to a chance to take care of their families? And that's what this is about. That's what this is about. Another example of what we're talking about is many of these workers are Hispanic or Latino. In the Department of Labor, for the entire United States, there are 4 bilingual enforcement officers, people who are responsible for making sure the labor laws and safety laws are not being violated. 4 who can actually go into a plant and speak the language of the people who are working there. This has all got to change. This is not complicated. It's all got to change. People need to be paid for the work they're doing. They need to have paid sick leave. We need to enforce the laws that protect workers and protect worker safety. Then we left Canton and we went to Marks, Mississippi, which was the place where the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King many years ago started his Poor People's March. And I have to tell you, it was moving. We were on a little street called Cotton Street, which is the street that actually was the original place that began the Poor People's March, because Dr. King went there and saw the conditions under which people were living. Children who didn't have any food in their cupboard, children who didn't know what they were going to eat the next day. And he believed that it was his responsibility to speak out and to raise America's awareness about this issue. I also learned that Senator Bobby Kennedy went there during roughly the same period of time, also to raise the country's awareness about this issue. But here we walked in the steps of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and his work is not finished. This Interfaith Council understands that. All of you understand that. Have we made some progress in America? Yes, we've made some progress. But we are still confronted with a huge moral issue in this country. It is not okay in the richest nation on the planet to have 37 million people who wake up every single day worried about feeding and clothing their children. We're better than that. America's better than that. And all of us have a joint responsibility to provide hope and opportunity to make work pay. And then we went to New Helena, Arkansas. We got some folks from Arkansas here, don't we? And met with a group of workers who are home health aides, basically. They provide home health care, and they told us their story. Another in a long series of the stories of poverty in America today. The stories of the other America, not the Wall Street America, but the other America, the real America that all of you live in and that you see every single day. And these women, and it was mostly women, not entirely women, but it was mostly women, these women got the same problem. They don't get any sick leave. They don't get paid any overtime. You know, if something goes wrong and they're out of work, they might get laid off. They're certainly not going to get paid. And most of the women that I met with who were home health workers have been working there for many years, 10, 15, 16, 17 years. Why? Because they love their kids, because they want to support their family, but they are still living at or below the poverty line. Listen, nobody in the United States of America should work full-time and still live in poverty. Nobody.